the bottom of the swimming pool. I was still holding my breath. So I started to float to the surface of the pool. It took me a while to realize that, oh shit, I cannot move my legs anymore.
So in today's episode of Tell Me Your Story, I'll be calling Rodrick. Rodrick wrote in to us wanting to share his story, and last year he had a freak accident where when he dived headfirst into a swimming pool, I think, he bumped his head and he's paralysed now from the armpit down. So I'll be calling him to find out how's he and really what happened there. Hi Rodrick, thanks for calling in and sharing your story. So tell me what happened.
So for me, I actually suffered a spinal cord injury roughly in the June of last year. Basically, I was paralysed from roughly chest downwards. So what happened was I was in Bali on a diving trip with my friends. We just finished our first dive. So basically during the service interval, we were inside the swimming pool and I'm relaxing. I went to the toilet, I came back, I decided to do this spectacular plunge and jump and plunge into the pool head first.
Right.
I didn't really know what the dangers of jumping and diving into the pool earlier, but if the pool is too shallow, you basically are just diving and jumping straight onto the ground.
Yeah.
You immediately hit the bottom of the pool at a very fast velocity. The pool was actually 1.2 to 1.8 meters. I was roughly in the...
You really dive in like that lah.
Yeah, so I hit my head against the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
And I broke my spine, which in turn put pressure on the spinal cord. So the neurons probably was affected, and that led to the spinal cord injury.
So when you were diving and then your head bumped to the bottom, what happened? Could you swim or you couldn't move really?
At the bottom of the swimming pool, I was still holding my breath. So I started to float to the surface of the pool. It took me a while to realize that, oh shit, I cannot move my legs anymore. My first thing was to call out for help, as usual. So I struggle, I swim. I struggle trying to tread water, try to get my head out of the water, and get a breath of air. But the thing is, my friends at that moment, right, I think they thought I was joking. I cannot blame them because I always do stupid things in the pool.
And then you are a diver to begin with.
Yeah, and I'm a diver. I'm good at swimming, to be honest. For a good few minutes or whatever, nobody actually came to help. Everybody think I was joking. So I then realized that, I need to really get myself out of the pool myself, man. So when I swim myself to the side of the pool, I just then prop myself onto the steps of the pool. I was able to breathe normally. Yeah. And that's when I called out to my friends. I took more serious tone, hey guys, serious, something happened. They start to realize something really happened now. Then some of them go and call for help. Basically, the dive masters was the one who after that take control of the situation.
And then you went to a clinic or hospital in Bali.
Immediately, they sent me to the nearest clinic. So they basically did just first aid stuff. So they put a neck brace around my neck. They kept me in an immobile position. They gave me IV drip. We were there for a couple of hours before we finally decided to send me to the main hospital in Bali. And that's where they did the MRI scan, the X-rays for me. Throughout the night, I actually called out my parents and told them about the situation. Yeah. So my parents actually immediately flew down the next day. Actually, I was very drowsy. I was really not very conscious of what's happening around me already. But what I know for sure is that I think that day we flew back to Singapore Gleneagles Hospital. And this is via airlift. For the surgeon in Singapore who did my surgery, he was trying to be very optimistic. I said that if I immediately do a surgery and reduce the swelling caused by the broken neck, right, potentially I could get back full motor recovery in the first 2 weeks. Wow. But if that doesn't happen, means the spinal cord injury is permanent already. So after 2 weeks, we realized that no, it's actually permanent. There's still chance for recovery. The most recovery comes in the first 6 months after the spinal cord injury. So some people can maybe start to regain some motor function or muscle function, which I did a little. So I still have a little bit of core strength, arm strength, a bit of finger strength that I regained. That's about it. It's more or less permanent.
So how are you now? How has it been since?
So the first 4 months or whatever, I was actually hospitalized because I was very weak, very frail, and I didn't know how to adjust to this body. These 4 months was helping me to adapt back to everyday life. So they teach me how to, wear my clothes again. They teach me all these kind of things. Subsequently, I moved to outpatient treatment. So once in every 2 weeks or whatever, I still go to physiotherapy. And I made it a point that I want to start school. which I managed to do so, and I'm very thankful. I just completed my first semester after my injury back in school.
If you're unable to move the lower half of your body, what's the hardest thing for you
But
now?
I would say things like bathing, things like basically shitting. You know, it has been a lot more difficult, a lot more time consuming. Because, you know, it's not as easy as like, oh, stand up. I have to still like, how am I going to reach?
Do you do that yourself?
I do everything myself. Because from the start, right, I already said that I want to do it myself. Some like of the physiotherapists, I mean, they were quite skeptical on whether I could be so independent again, right? I was like quite focused on being independent.
Good, man. Is there a period in time whereby at night, right, you're just like thinking about your life and then you just like kind of broke down a bit?
I don't really have a lot of nights whereby I was very, very sad. I still had a very optimistic mindset.
Very good. Most people will be depressed. Most people will be thinking about how their futures and their dreams, and they don't know whether they can do that anymore. But I'm glad that you're like, okay, this happened, and so I'm gonna move on with my life.
Exactly. So that was my mindset from the start. Adapt and move on.
What do you want to tell your family member right now that's taking care of you?
I think my mother has been very understanding. Has been always there by my side. Something she has to step in to help me. Usually I'll be very annoyed by myself. Then she'll be one that's like, it's okay. And she really just takes up everything. She takes up the burden without complaining. I really didn't know what was dangerous about diving and jumping into a swimming pool head first. It's actually the 5th highest reason that people get spinal cord injuries from. So I would say is, firstly, don't do such a thing, and only do it if the pool is over 3 meters deep. That's what I've learned after doing a little bit of research. I intend to go back to diving, not because I love the nature or what so much anymore, but I just want to show that I'm able to do it. I want to go back to the place where I got myself injured. I want to go back to the same pool. I mean, it's a sense of fulfillment for myself in the first place. I've actually contacted some of the divers that are specialized in disability.
Yeah,
but I'm not very pressured to say I must do it now.
Very good.
I see that as a long-term pursuit.
Thank you very much for sharing your story, bro.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I wish you the best, man. And if you ever go diving, if you want to make that trip, and if you can find me on Instagram, then you DM me. If I can make it, we go together. Because I think you need support.
Actually following your Instagram.
Aye, solid.
Yourself.
If I can make it, we go. So once again, I'd like to thank Rodrick for sharing his story with us. When I first read his story submission, I was wondering if he's still in a very dark place and very hard to ask questions, right? What if I trigger him? But then I realized he's the same guy as he was before this whole incident. To him, it's like, it happened and then I'm just gonna adapt and then my life goes on. He even wants to go back to dive at the same spot, which I love. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Thanks Rodrick for sharing this story. If you have an interesting story to share or something that you've learned that you think the rest of us should know as well, then please click the link in the comment section and submit your story, then hopefully we'll talk soon. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye-bye.